Okay, we're live.
Live. Game night.
Live. Which means we're the opposite of Prince. Too soon?
Oh. Yeah. Yup.
Can't let it go. Can't let it go 24 hours, right? You know. All right. Shall we go?
PD. Yep. Go.
R.I.P.D.
Oh.
What's the D? Oh no. Okay.
You can
look,
stop this and start again, can't you?
You actually cannot, but that's okay. You can grab it and stick it at the end of the podcast now. Okay. Hello and welcome to Off the Shelf, the voice of Transformers Collectors Club Australia. I'm Jason. This is episode 58. We are recording a little bit into the night on April 22nd, 2016. Joining me tonight, we have Brad. It's just going to be the two of us for this week's show. How are you doing, Brad?
I'm doing very good, Jason. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. I had a nice little night excursion into the city and had dinner with some friends, and I rushed home to do a podcast and got called a nerd.
Nerd.
Nerd. Yeah, thanks. That's gone well. So yeah, no, that's been good. Other than that, I've been working pretty hard the last few weeks, so that has continued. But
Yep.
yeah, how about yourself? What have you been up to?
I've tried to have a week off. Just 2 weeks of Nova, back to back.
That's pretty intense.
It has been very intense. Flying to Queensland, getting all that done, then working a 4-day week, 5-day week, and then heading to Melbourne. It's taken a bit out. Luckily, I've got this weekend off. I'm going into the bush. I'm hiding.
You're gonna go find yourself out in the bush.
I know. Yeah, I found myself. I just need to get there. So, it's been a very big fortnight. So it's good to get back into things. I'm back home recording
That's
the last
fantastic.
2 weeks on the road.
So, anything notable from Supernova Melbourne? It's actually the second time you've done Supernova Melbourne. It's the first return engagement for the club.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of return visitors to this table. We had 2 tables this year. You can check out all the photos in the gallery on the website.
Yeah, the setup was pretty impressive. I was quite a fan. I believe Simon is now selling a glass container, a glass cabinet on the Buy Sell Trade group. Is it possible that that's actually the same cabinet that was used at Nova?
That didn't last long. I know he picked up 2 new ones during the week.
That might be there.
I don't think it's the big one. He's very fond of that, and I can't thank him enough for bringing that along, because that was just a beehive or a honey pot attracting people, having it on the ends where it was for G1 and Masterpiece figures.
I think we might have to look at a similar setup for other Nova conventions around the country if we are going to those. It was sort of like it was a centerpiece. It was almost like a defining part of the stand. Got a lot of people interested in it.
And once again, we didn't put not for sale on there. So every second question was, "What's that worth? What's that worth?" Or yeah,
just goes to show Supernova is a seller's market, isn't it?
It is. We done pretty good too. We sold nearly $3,000 worth of goods from the table. I can't thank Pleasant Surprises enough for supplying figures for the table as well.
Yeah, great. That's really nice. I think you said Benny did something similar up on the Gold Coast as well.
Yeah, Benny donated. Yeah,
Shockwaves.
Yeah, we got four shockwaves off Benny. We sold 3 of them. I should have put one under me and brought back, because I couldn't fit in a suitcase, but I would have sold it on the weekends. There was just people asking, Hot Rod, Ironhide, asking for Masterpiece stuff. There was nothing there. There was one store that had MP10 for $500. We had 2 of them and sold for $300, and they both sold on the first day. So, yeah,
fantastic. So look, if people are looking for Masterpiece Transformers, maybe that's something we can do for the future. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Let's move on. We've gotten right into it. So look, hey, the April donation drive is currently on at the moment. You can message Brad via Facebook or via the club's website. That's transformerscca.com, and there's some nice G1 figures on the prize table for the donation drive this month. There's a Takara Encore Devastator mint in box, a Takara G1 Nor, that's a Sharkticon, and there's the 2015 reissue G1 Coneheads box from the Platinum Edition series, and there's a mint in box book style reissue G1 Jazz, which is also featuring on the shelf behind me there, which is an increasingly busy shelf every week. So yeah, look, money raised from donation drives and from memberships to the club as well. They go towards helping us set up tables at conventions, just like Brad was talking about. We'd like to get out there and put the club's name in front of people. Get a lot of people walk past at conventions, go, "Oh my God, I remember Transformers," and there's been a few people who've done that at conventions, and are some of the most prolific people that you see posting in the group today. So it's great. We like to bring people together. Now, convention tables are booked for the first half of this year. Plus, there are some birthday celebrations coming up in September. So look, there are some fundraising activities on, and if you want to enter the donation drive, you can send $5 to Brad. $5 gets you one entry into the draw. I think the last ticket purchase for this month is on April 29th. So if you are listening to this on like Tuesday or Wednesday, when the recording of the podcast usually emerges, get your ticket, get in, buy some tickets. You got to be in it to win it, and if you think that we provide some value to your life as a Transformers collector, then please do consider donating.
Yep, you got a week left.
There is 1 week until the next one, right? And then there'll be something else.
Yeah.
One other tiny little.
It won't be G1, not after this one.
No, well, I see it ahead in the run sheet, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah. There is one other little event happening at the moment. It's called the Podcast Awards. Now, while we're comparatively small, and I've just realised that my cat is climbing around my Transformers.
Oh no! That Eva is going to fall. Catch the Eva! Catch the Eva!
He's pretty careful. That is hilarious.
You have some restraint there, holding him back.
So he's been looking to get up there for quite some time.
Careful, Debbie.
Oh, that's fantastic. I may have to just snap a selfie of this moment. Just if y'all will forgive me, I'm just gonna do this, right? Meow, meow. Oh. He can't hear you, right? I've got headphones on. Yes. All right, I'm just gonna leave him there. He's currently just in front of Hulky.
That tiger track's gonna fall.
Yeah, he's gonna jump down now. He's over it. He's over it.
Oh, go.
He's sort of over it. No, he's still standing. Okay. You know what? That's fine. We're just gonna move on. If you think this moment is worthy of a podcast award, do please head over to the site at podcastawards.com. We have some instructions. You have to nominate us using the RSS feed. The link for that is in the show notes. If you want to nominate us under Hobbies and Collectibles, that would be amazing. And we love each and every one of you. Thank you. Now, Brad, there's also one other little giveaway going on. Do you want to tell people about that?
Yes, we are looking for reviews on iTunes or the podcatcher of your choice. I've got a mint in box Masterpiece Exhaust that I'm going to be giving away. iTunes reviewers in Australia, post up your reviews. If it's outside of iTunes Australia, please take a screen cap and email it to us at transformerscca@gmail.com so I can see it. And episode 60, we'll be drawing the winner of that Masterpiece Exhaust.
Is there a requirement to give it a 5-star review? There we go, he's down.
Yeah, I think there should be. Yeah.
We'll see how well this goes.
Yeah, it's good and badly.
Yeah, it could end badly. All right, so one of the other segments that we've been trying to get going lately, where is a very brief look back at things that happened a year ago this week. The podcast is over a year old, so it gives us some perspective on things that happened in the past. Now, I mentioned this guy before because my cat just terrorized him. The DS9 War and Pocket series got its first combiner with the first images of a little Devastator named Hulky. Came out a year ago this week, not a week ago. A week ago, just listen to the last podcast. A year ago this week, we saw the first images of parts of Hulky. You can't really see him up on the shelf. He's right about there where my finger is.
There he is.
So his little mini Devastator. I posted some pictures of him on the group this week. He's pretty cool. I love the way that his legs attach. I'm not so fond of the way his arms attach, but beggars, choosers, whatever. So yeah, Hulky was first revealed. Masterpiece 26 was revealed to be Road Rage. She's an Autobot female repaint of Trax, and we hit 1,000 members in the group. Sort of a big deal. Kind of a big thing, and we're nearly at 2,000 now. I think we're closing in on 1,700, and that number's only going to go up from here.
Mm-hmm. Great to see.
So I had a clear standout for my favourite post of the week in the Facebook group this week.
Pun intended.
Look. I think all things together, it stacked up.
Oh God. Oh well, Debbie was ahead.
Yeah, that's true, and like this post stood head and shoulders above the rest.
Oh my God, just get to it.
All right, so my good friend Thomas Lim from Singapore, he posted a challenge to members in the group this week to create the tallest Transformers stack that they could, and it had to be freestanding, and you had to get photographs of it from all sides to show that it wasn't leaning on a wall or anything like that. Quite amusing results. There's like pictures of Devastator standing on top of Fort Max with a Starscream standing on top of him, and then it was good fun. It was fun to see. It was fun to see someone doing something fun with their Transformers instead of just sort of lining them up in serious poses on the thing. It was just like, put the hands up because it's taller in this way or something, or put an arm out because it gives you a bit more balance and stuff. It was really good. It was good to sort of play with the physical aspects of these toys again. And of course, all the big ones. All the big ones are the ones that people use for sort of the largest height points. But I also appreciated that someone posted a picture. His son got involved, and he'd sort of stacked about 5 Autobot cars on top of on top of the other. that was quite cool. Yeah. So yeah, I heartily enjoyed that. I laughed out loud at several of the attempts to enter. I did not enter myself. In fact, my favourite attempt to enter was someone just saying, "Look, I'm an inbox collector. Can I just stack my masterpiece boxes up?" And the best bit about that was Thomas's reaction, going, "No, you can't. You have to get them out." So yeah, that's my post of the week.
A lot of flat feet and broad shoulders were needed for foundations. No one had a G1 Fort Max. Fort Max would have been a good basement.
I thought I saw one in there, but no. So the problem with Fort Max is that his shoulders are different heights.
Yeah, true.
And so you need something small. You need a small block of a transformer or some energon cubes or something to raise the other shoulder up. And one of the shoulders has a hinge on it as well, so it's not you can't stand anything flat on it. Yeah,
and then a lot were getting Generations Metroplex, but because he's wonky in the hips and the knees, and it just all starts to sway.
So you need to bulk him up with a few things, but yeah. So that was highly amusing for me this week. Highly amusing. Now let's move on and talk about some news, shall we? No, there's no two ways of saying this. There's no Hasbro news this week. Was there Hasbro news this week? I didn't see any.
No. Maybe some RID stuff, but that was it.
So I seem to recall seeing earlier in the week that there was confirmation that the Rodimus in the is it the Planet of Junk set, or is it the Rodimus and Galvatron, the set that was announced during BotCon in Brazil? That set is in fact the Transformer, the Rodimus, and that is in fact the die-cast metal titanium version, which is quite surprising. I don't like the figure, but I would have thought that they would like just go, okay, well, we don't need to use metal for this. We can just make the same parts out of plastic, and save on shipping, save on shipping weight, save on anything. But
it probably made that figure so much better. It's just the die cast. He's only got mushroom clip-in pegs for his knees and that, and it just, as soon as you pick him up and go to shake him, the weight just disintegrates him. He comes apart the joints.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna turn on the screen sharing so that we can see what's going on with some of these other stories now. That has not worked. There we go. Nice. So we've got a nice rumor from. Got a nice rumor from not really that much of a rumor, really. This is an official photograph from Takara this week, showing the new MP14 Plus Red Alert being carried by a silhouetted figure who bears a remarkable resemblance to Inferno. Now,
I had to laugh, and it was Christian Lando that said it. That that's just probably the silhouette of the Make Toys Inferno, one of the third-party ones.
It's entirely possible. I'm just going to do those. I'm just going to do that for a sec and zip over here and quit my Messenger so that it stops showing up messages over the screen while we're doing this. Sorry about that. We're back. There we go. And so. Look, it seems to make it pretty clear. Masterpiece Inferno is coming now. We know that 31 is Optimus Primal. We know 30. Is 31 Optimus Primal? Yes.
No, 31 is Die-Stack 32.
Delta Magnus?
Delta Magnus, sorry, not Die-Stack. Yeah.
32 is Primal?
Yep.
30, I don't know, so whatever is Primal.
Yeah, and, so this would be 33.
Yeah, so 33 Inferno, very likely to be a repaint into Grapple. There's a third truck former as well, isn't there? There's a green one. Is that just rubbish repaints that I've seen in op shops over the years?
They've probably got 5 different colours they're ready to paint this in for Diaclone and everything else. So I'm 100% happy to see this. This and Grapple.
I reckon so.
Yeah,
I reckon so.
Wait and see what it looks like. I'm still pretty keen on the Make Toys one, even with this announcement. So we'll see what happens. So next week or two, we'll see pictures of this.
So I do have the Ocular Max Inferno on order from Premium. So look, I'm not really willing to cancel that order or anything because of this. So there's room enough in my collection for 2 until I decide there's not, and then I'll sell one of them down the line at some point. But we'll see how that goes.
And that's exactly right. You can get them now. They're not going to drop in price in the next 6 months. So you get them both and work out which one you don't want. You can easily sell one of them off and get your money back.
Now here's a question: why is he carrying MP14 Plus? Is it a reference to a particular episode?
I'm guessing there's one episode in Season 2, Season 1, where he carried Red Alert.
There must be
some reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on. There is more.
I don't know what his accessories will be. So he comes with the accessory of animated coloured Red Alert.
That sounds decent. Yeah. Your accessory is an entire other masterpiece.
Yeah.
Speaking
of
entire other masterpieces, let's talk a little bit about Ratchet. Specifically, this story is about Ratchet's coin. Interesting return to distributing coins with figures, because Hasbro Asia has not distributed a coin with Ramjet. But we're back to it with Ratchet. He's kind of a similar coin to Ironhide, which is fair enough because he's kind of a similar transformer to Ironhide. I mean, the other news with Ratchet is that he has actually been released. He's out. He's ready to roll. He's on sale in Hong Kong. If you walk into any of the Transformers stores there, you can pick him up off the shelf now.
Yep, I got a notification earlier this week from BBTS saying he's coming in the next 10 days, finalised payment, so he's just about to head out.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I think ultimately, despite all the whinging, Ironhide was pretty well received, so I expect Ratchet to be as well.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Yep. So, look, I assume a bunch of us are going to start getting our hands on Ratchet in the next couple of weeks, and we'll have some nice reports back on new Masterpiece toys pretty soon.
It's just like Ironhide, only white.
Speaking of Ironhide, let's talk about some third-party upgrades to the Masterpiece Ironhide. Now, I got to be honest, this kind of worries me. This is the Transfusion TFS-01. It's an upgrade set for Masterpiece Ironhide. Now, it ostensibly kind of takes care of the hip skirt issue. And my cat is making a nuisance of himself again. Get out. There you go. There you go. That's a nice amount of noise in the background of the podcast there. This figure, this add-on kit, it takes care of the hip skirt issue. Not really sure. I'm not entirely sure that I trust a third party to make a replacement door like this for a character. He's also got a new. Is it a new head sculpt or is it just a new helmet? I think it's a new head sculpt.
Yeah, I'm guessing because it's grey, the whole thing's new.
Yeah. See this.
It's got the whole panels.
This picture doesn't really give me much faith. Like,
look at that gap.
That panel does not match up at all.
No.
They also have not done a very good job of actually transforming him and making the other panels line up as well. So, like, this just makes it look really bad.
And this is going to be $40 or $50 at least.
Oh hey! Look, there's also new front wheels as well. So they've given his butt cheeks a remold.
But they still fold around on the butt.
Yeah,
one of the biggest things I heard was always got butt cheek wheels, and they haven't addressed that at all. But I don't know how you would.
So what they have addressed is where the wheels are connected onto that front panel. If you look at the shot from the back there, you can see how they can now connect up towards his,
those arms,
his upper hips. Yeah, towards his arms. Yeah. So that's obviously why they've produced some new wheels. Whether or not those wheels, they don't look like they really fit with the front tire and the back side, but maybe that's just because we're looking at obviously a prototype or a 3D print of this. So
go back to the main bot mode, the first pick. I don't think it adds to the moving those panels up in there. Yes, it gives the nose, like the front of the car, more of a dominance on the chest, but it looks like it's really hanging down. They haven't taken this figure is just not photogenic at all. Even now that they've taken the hip flaps off, it still looks shit.
We know that it's always looked bad in photos. It's been a point of criticism for the figure since it was announced. But surprise, surprise, when you get it in hand, everyone loves it. So great.
Yeah. I got no issue with the head itself. If they want to make a couple of replacement clip-in heads with maybe some O's and some E mouths, and fair enough. But
it actually surprises me that people don't make replacement faces for masterpieces more.
And especially with him, where you just tap the crown, it pops off. Like, it's so easy. It's not unscrewing the back and untabbing and everything else. It's just push the crown down, it pops off, put a new one on. Like, it's a fairly easy way to replace a head or like a face, but no one's doing the faces.
It's an easy way to get ahead in life, is what you're saying, right? Traveling on from here, we also have. So we are thick into the third party news at the moment. Now, I have to admit, I've had a renewed interest in little bots in the last few weeks, and I think part of it is because I picked up a couple of these. Let me just flip the camera back onto me here. I picked up a couple of these little world's smallest transformers. Last time I was at the
wow.
Fair.
Yeah.
And so like these guys are pretty awesome, and they're pretty tiny. And I've picked up an animated activator, the transparent animated one from a few years ago, and so like I'm kind of getting into this small bot thing again. There's I think it's Warbotron X-Ray, I think he is, and so I'm starting to look at these. I'm starting to look at these figures by Iron Factory with a lot more interest now. So there's and of course the little tiny Hulky, which is up on my shelf. I really should have gotten him down for this. I'm sorry, but yeah. So I'm really starting to look at a lot of these little figures with different eyes. I used to not really be into them, and now I'm sort of like, yeah, this is cool. Maybe it's because I don't actually have that much space to actually display things anymore, and so. If I'm going to try to get maximum space out of things, you get maximum number of figures into the space available, then I'm going to want to look at these little guys, and so maybe I can see myself adding a shelf of these in the future, and like it's actually pretty easy to get them. So enough talking about what Iron Factory's been doing, because they've been doing these for a little while, and they're all sort of comic styled. So they've announced Scorponok this week, and he's a little Scorponok, and he's super detailed. He's got all of Scorponok's little guns hanging off him. It looks pretty awesome. He's even got tilting ankles for just to be able to make him pull off all of these other little poses. So yeah, I'm pretty interested in these. I'm going to have to go and actually do some research, because Iron Factory has been making these for a while, and there's quite a few different kits out there. What do you think of these? What do you think of the little Iron Factory figures in general, Brad? And is this Scorponok something that you're going to go for?
Well, first up, did he have the Toy World photographers in there? Because that pelvis thrust is extreme. That is extreme.
Yeah, if you look at this angle though, I actually don't think it's a thrust. I think that's just how he transforms.
Yeah. Scorponok lays down.
Hey?
Scorponok essentially lays down to transform.
Yeah,
the
that's
G1
fine.
version.
So he looks fine from this angle as well.
Yeah, legend size figures of the past have mainly been movie figures, and they've been pretty simplistic, but now DX9, Iron Factory, their legend figures are almost as detailed as Masterpiece. Now this thing is a Voyager size to fit in the legend scale. So I think I heard somewhere it's going to be $80 on Amazon or something US.
That's pretty damn good for a third-party Voyager.
Yeah, and this thing's gunned up. The hyper details there. I don't know if those claws open. Oh yeah, there's a hinge there. Yeah, I'd love to see some colour on it to see how G1 accurate they go with colour. But he's a nice looking bot, a nice looking Scorponok, and he's going to be a fifth the price of Pandeus or whatever that big one is.
You're talking about Make 3's Pandanus, yeah.
Yeah. Which again is a great looking bot, but not for $600-700. Yeah, those hips. His Elvis and something shocking there.
Thank you very much. So I'm not entirely sure when this guy's coming out. Let me just have a quick look. No one else knows when he's coming out either. TFW says no pricing or release date has been announced yet, but he does look pretty good. So he's Iron Factory EX18 Lord Scorpion. So Good job, Iron Factory. I reckon that's pretty good. We're going to stick with Iron Factory for the next story. They've shown some test shots and coloured test shots of their War Within, not Optimus, their War Within Grimlock. Now he's looking pretty awesome. Again, it's the same thing with these guys. Like they've just got this really nice level of detail. They're almost sort of a little bit super deformed, being there at the size that they're at, but they're well within proportion. Yeah, I reckon he looks pretty awesome.
I didn't notice the tracks today, because this is this
is War Within Grimlock. He's a tank.
Yeah. I remember we had a third party a little while ago doing a Masterpiece styled one. But
I think so. There is a Masterpiece scale War Within Prime and Megatron. I think Grimlock's also on the table for those guys. I can't remember who it is now though.
He looks very good for a Grimlock.
Especially at this size.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's got the sword, he's got that double gun. So
I'm really liking this figure, and like I said, I'm pretty scared that I'm gonna start buying it. Oh look, they've got the entire Dinobot range.
Exactly, and that's where to get you. Collect the whole set.
That looks amazing. However, that image is from 2015. It does take a while for them to get these guys out, doesn't it?
Yeah, we did report on that a few months ago.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Our next story is a Bad Cube story. There you go, Bad Cube. They're doing Gears. You excited about this?
Gears isn't really on my radar. I know there was an iGear. Yeah, iGear is out there. I would have preferred a Huffer. But then I suppose they're going to release all the mini-bots, but between them and X-Transbots, like they've just done Actros or whatever it was, not Actros.
Arcos.
Beachcomber. Arcos, yeah.
Actros.
Names. Yeah. They've just done Beachcomber. Yeah, I can see there'll be a sea spray in the next couple of weeks or couple of months, which will be good. Need a Brawn. Oh no, they've already done Brawn and Outback, so yeah, they're just filling in the gaps now.
So like, I'm gonna be a little bit harsh on this. Like, for one thing, it's Gears, but for another thing, like, Gears is not the most complicated bot around to transform, and like, they haven't really broken from his G1 appearance for his face or his head or anything like that. And so like, essentially, they've just scaled up. They've just scaled up the characters. Cartoon or even maybe their comic design, and just sort of projected some of the parts of his G1 toy. And I'm like, I don't know, like it's just an illustration, but the illustration is going to be an indication of what the toy looks like. And yeah, like I kind of find it a bit unimaginative. That's all. So yeah, and we know Bad Cube is not slavishly attached to doing like a completely G-Run accurate rendition, but and they do tend to have, let's say, complicated transformations, somewhat for the sake of being complicated. It feels like so.
War Dog, anyone?
Yeah, exactly. Well, Sun Surge also fell into that group. So
okay.
So Bad Cube TFW reports that. So TFW handily reports that they're on point with their reveal schedules, so they're probably going to reveal more of it in the next few weeks. We don't know when it's coming out, and we don't know how much it's going to be, but his name is Grump, and if you're a fan of Gears or the little mini-bots, you'll probably want to pick him up. I don't see Takara doing a Masterpiece Gears anytime soon.
I don't think any of the mini-bots are going to get done. So
well, Bumblebee did.
Yeah, Bumblebee had to be done, but yeah, I don't see any past that. Not unless they do some sort of gift set.
So we're nearly at the end of the news for this week. So this is so we're going to move on to a Transform Dreamwave, which is an oddly named, especially given the old Dreamwave comics. So Transform Dreamwave is releasing an IDW Bruticus upgrade kit. Certain IDW publishing will be very happy to have their name associated with this product, so I don't know if that's going to stick to the finished product. But basically, this is an upgrade kit to make Bruticus look a lot more like a badass. It increases the size of the cannons on Onslaught's back. There's new feet, there's new hands, there's a new sort of hip skirt and a new chest piece for chest panel or a front piece for Bruticus as well. So it adds a lot of armor onto this guy. And if I just bring this up here, so there's a good look at the finished product. Bizarrely placed in front of a little Optimus Prime. I don't know why they've chosen the smallest possible Optimus Prime for that. In fact, I'm pretty sure that might actually be an Iron Factory Legend scale figure. It's not, because that doesn't actually look like a real Hasbro or Takara Prime to me.
It's way too detailed.
But also, like, because of the way they've placed it in the photograph, it provides no scale whatsoever. How big this guy is.
It could be MP10.
Yeah, like it's completely unhelpful. But thanks for trying, guys. Yeah. So yeah, he's a decent upgrade here. Like the main impact of this guy, like, because where your eye is drawn to visually, it's sort of on the chest and the hip piece on the front and the cannons. Those cannons on the back of Bruticus on the shoulders, they are iconic for the character. So yeah, it's obviously they're going to want to try and enhance them. So yeah, fair enough.
I love the hands. I love the upgraded hands. Those hands look real good. They still incorporate sort of the fist or the knuckle missiles or knuckle guns that the Combined Wars one do, but a lot more detailed, a lot smaller size.
They do, and you can see from this photo as well, all of the pieces actually attached to the bot's vehicle modes as weapons as well.
Oh no.
No,
big guns.
I think that's okay. Big guns are fine, especially for Combaticons.
That's not robots in disguise.
There's your fist missile.
Wow. And he's got finger guns as well.
Yep.
I don't see the point in doing a new head.
Are they actually doing a new head? Oh, they are too. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. Spoiler alert for later. I've got Onslaught here, and I think his head's pretty spot on to what the G1 figure was. So yeah, I think it's just a matter of yuck, whatever. Especially that bottom one, whatever the hell that is.
I've got no idea what that is.
No. Yeah, it's just.
Do not want.
We're gonna make a kit. Let's just go as obscure as we can and throw a heap of other stuff in there and charge even more for it, even though it's one episode or something. So.
Yeah. All right.
But then this is being shown on the Hasbro version. I've got the.
That's not going to be that different on Takara.
Yeah, no, it's not, because the Brawl Blast-Offs. Oh no, it's a jet. Yeah.
Fair enough. So these are rough early prototypes, which means that we don't have any release date for them or anything like that. So stay tuned. That'll come in the next few weeks.
Yeah, they're not perfect effects, so now we have choice.
Yeah, this is true. All right, we've got one more third-party story to get to, and this is another upgrade kit that is designed to attach to Leader Class Ultra Magnus. Now, I'm not sure if it's designed to attach to the Takara or the Hasbro one. This looks like the Hasbro one.
Yep.
So, what's he got? He's got a whole bunch of new pieces. There's some new stuff to clip onto the feet. One of the big complaints about the feet with Magnus was just the sort of the gap. Where the foot sort of reached down to the ground, there was a lot of gap inside it. So this seems to aim to fill in that gap. They've got some new pieces with some better hands for him. I seem to recall that getting Magnus to hold his gun was actually a bit of a battle as well. So there's some new feet. There's some new parts to fill some stuff in on the feet, and there's a whole bunch of other parts that just fill in gaps.
Yeah. It's mostly just fill in gaps, make it more streamlined. Like mainly when you turn it around, there's that big piece that goes on the back to hide that hollow section. and I nearly brought this.
Amusingly, they've not. Oh no, maybe they have down here. I was going to say they've not shown a picture of him from the back, but there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. He does look like he's a lot more stable on his feet with this kit. So that can only be a good thing, right?
Do you have this figure?
I do. I will admit to finding him a little bit annoying to pose, but I don't know if I'm really looking to purchase an upgrade kit for it.
Quick side note: they've got him in city mode as well. I thought that was an unofficial thing.
It's an unofficial product.
Yeah. But having Magnus in city mode, I thought that was like a fan mode for city mode. But...
Yeah, but this is not Hasbro advertising this.
Yeah, true.
They want the figure really.
Yeah,
it looks like some of the parts are actually designed to, let's say, enhance city mode. Not entirely sure how, but sure, it's just got some extra bits that stick out.
Not entirely sure who would put him in city mode to display. But...
Oh man, I've spoken to people who intend to display Soundwave and Blaster in like base mode. It's kind of weird.
I'm gonna raise my hand and say that just the Micromaster stuff. If I can use my G1 Micromasters on them, they'll stay as bases.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, that's good. There's no price or release date again for this guy, but X2 Toys it'll look. These are at least coloured prototypes, so they are getting closer to release.
Yep.
So yeah, let's talk Combiner Wars, the television. Well, maybe not the television series, but the Machinima series, which seems to have gone from sort of being like a collection of 20 or 30-minute episodes to being a collection of five or so minute episodes that will make one sort of 1 hour feature. A little bit disappointing on that front, but damn, it looks pretty impressive looking at this artwork here. So this appears to be from a sneak peek presentation that was delivered by some of Machinima's people. Who have we got there? There was, whoever's reporting this has not actually told us who was presenting stuff on stage. He is, however, blocking the artwork. You can see very clearly there that
move out of the way.
Look, a person standing in front of something that we want to see controversy has not been seen on this scale since Combiner Wars Devastator.
I wonder if that's a Fortress Maximus scaled ion cannon.
I don't know. I think someone said that they thought this was Computron.
Yes.
No.
The back. Well, they look like the same bot.
Yeah, they do. I'm going to say I don't really know what's going on here, and also it looks like there's a planet in front of it. Combiners are not that big. Let's.
There's two. I thought that was the end of a cannon. Oh.
Yeah. Let's just wait and see. Like this is pretty confusing, and I think it's about time Machinima actually showed us some goods for the series. Now, this is sort of a sneak peek thing that they gave to some presentation somewhere in the States, and they actually said that they're not producing a preview for the show, which I think is a bit of a mistake. Like you don't have to do that much. Yeah. Sell the bloody show.
Especially when most of the ways to watch it are on some sort of paid subscription service. Like, you really need to sell this to get people to sign up and watch it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, people are just going to wait 6 to 12 months and hopefully get it on DVD when it comes out, if they release it all on as one big movie.
No one buys DVDs anymore.
Yeah, well, that's for another.
You're amusing with your 20th century technology.
Yeah. Quick side note: I brought Star Wars: The Force Awakens last week.
Sorry, I think you bought it, not brought it. Aha.
I didn't rip it, not this time. But it was just interesting that the Blu-ray's got all the special features and everything on it, and the DVD's got nothing.
Yeah, because people who buy DVDs are the cheap people, and they want to give all the good stuff to the Blu-rays. Anyway, look,
Yeah.
so we are hoping to see more of Machinima's Combiner Wars series in the next few weeks. I think
The
it's I think it's
Cybertron,
I think it's due for release sometime in the next few months. So,
it can't be too
um,
far away now.
well, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if they've actually announced a date for it yet. But yeah, no. So this picture of Cybertron is quite interesting.
Mm.
So we know that Combiner Wars in its cartoon universe is set some 40 years into the future after the end of the war between the Autobots and the Decepticons. So it's time of relative peace on Cybertron, and so you can sort of see this is there's a big sort of city here showing a bit of sort of growth and prosperity, and there's some cranes on tops of buildings and stuff. But the more interesting thing is the fact that there's the surface of Cybertron is red dust, and there's clouds in the sky. There's obviously another planet or a large moon fairly close by, and it has
Rust clouds in the sky. I'll call them rust clouds.
maybe, yeah, sure. But yeah, so like there's all this interesting architecture going on there as well, which I guess sort of speaks to the design of the series. And if we flip back down to the other picture here, we can see presumably Windblade. Now, yeah, looking at the heel structure, that's definitely Windblade, and Windblade is one of the central characters of the show. So yeah, no, it's interesting to get a look at the sort of the character design. So it looks like the characters are somewhat cell shaded, but there's larger things going on there, obviously with bots fighting and battles being waged in the background as well. So it's an interesting look at the art style. And we can't really draw too much from these two still images, but yeah, well, I'm looking forward to seeing it.
I'm glad that Windblade can now be identified by her footwear.
Yes, well, so if it wasn't for that, it could have been Starscream.
Oh yeah, but you look at the way that those wings are wing blades. You can't see the VTOFs in them, but you can sort of see the outline of them.
Yeah, no, but I'm just like we don't actually know what the characters look like in the show, and like that's a winged character standing over Cybertron. So yeah.
Yeah, I like the whole cityscape. I love how there's layers. You've got the obvious, the rusty sort of top layer, and there is a couple of freeways going off it, but then you've got drop down layer, and there seems to be like an underground as well. The cityscape itself looks very techno-organic, which brings me back to Beast Machines. Every building, every spire having a red flashing light is definitely Beast Machines. I don't know why. If a flying transformer can't stay away from a building and crashes into it, then that's its problem. But it'll be interesting. It's definitely something that I want to check out. How we'll see when the time comes, but yeah, I really want to see this, even though it's comic based. But
oh my god, are you serious?
Yeah.
No, are you serious? Like, even though it's comic based, like you can't put things down like that anymore. It's a massive part of the fandom.
Yeah, and it's a fandom I want to get into.
Seriously, but you need to stop regarding it as a second class thing.
I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. You'll have an exodus from your group. Anyway, but I mean, like seriously, like that Ultra Magnus figure looks like a complete badass. That's his comic design. That's not Hasbro's design. That's comic artists have designed Ultra Magnus. It's pretty awesome what they're doing these days.
Yeah,
Hasbro themselves at BotCon have started displaying Chrome Dome and Rewind together because they're a couple in the comics. It's like there's an undeniable influence on the mainstream of Transformers line from these comics now. The comics aren't a fringe anymore; they are a massive part of the fandom.
Yeah, and it's just great that a lot of the comic colorists and that are fans, and Hasbro are going to them for designs, like you said, for Magnus and that.
Yeah. Well, so for a long time, some of the artists would actually design their figures in the comics with an eye to how they would transform, so that when it comes time to actually do the figure as a toy, they can actually make sure that the figure looks like that figure in the comics.
Yep.
Anyway, let's move on. There is one more story that I am going to give its due amount of airtime to.
Boom, baby!
Apparently, Michael Bay is going to blow up Stonehenge. That's what we take from this happy snap of Michael Bay standing in front of Stonehenge. Just he's got that look in his eye that just goes, I can't wait to blow this shit up on film.
500 tons of explosives. Wait for it. I put this in the run sheet for a different reason. Those Beast Wars fans will remember back into some of the better episodes of Beast Wars, Other Victories, The Other Side, pretty much all the OV episodes. They had what you would call a fully erect Stonehenge on Earth back there, and it was the main site for communication with the aliens. So this gives me a massive boner for Beast Wars in the live-action movies. I don't know how it will play into Prime flying off into space or what, but
I got a spoiler for you. It's not going to be Beast Wars.
No, it won't be. But still, if they we had this talk at Gold Coast last week and even at Melbourne. The use of ancient sites on Earth, I do not mind, but please just spend 5 minutes to explain why. The sun harvester in the pyramid, I have absolutely no problem with, but at least in number 4, say how we had to spend $2 billion ripping it down, taking the guts out of it, then rebuilding the pyramids afterwards, or something. Just you want the engine out of it, take it and rebuild the pyramid or something. Just don't forget about what happened in the movies beforehand. But that's asking too much. I'll stop talking now.
Indeed. That is the end of the news. It's time to put us back on screen, which I guess it will do eventually. I'm going to stop presenting that, and here we go. There's me again. Hi everyone. So yeah, that's it. That's the end of the news. It's time to talk about new acquisitions. And I believe we both have some new figures this week. Do you want to talk about them first?
Okay. There's a lot there. All right. Commodores Onslaught.
You're going to have to tell people what it is.
Yeah. I got 2 figures from Supernova last week. Commodores Onslaught. I've got the Takara one pre-ordered and paid for, so I don't know why. Simon had his there, and I picked up Blastoff a couple months ago just to have that figure separate, but I think I really want the Hasbro one as well for reasons I cannot explain.
You wanted to spend money.
Yeah, he feels a lot better than Hotspot. Hotspot? Yeah, I'll call him Hotspot. He feels a lot better than him. His alt mode's a lot better, so I'm pretty happy with him. Second up, I got my reissue by a third-party company, Mirage, which is not bad.
Wait, a reissue by a third-party company? Do you mean a KO?
Yeah, reissue by a third-party company. He's pretty solid, actually. I'm surprised.
So it's a G1 Mirage knockoff.
Reissued by a third company.
A third-party company cannot reissue a toy that they did not issue. That's how the word reissue works.
Mirage, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Mirage.
He's got some nice chrome. He's nice and tight. I had a couple issues with some KOs last week, but No, he's not too bad. For some reason, I've been hankering to get a Mirage. I'm not exactly sure why. I think a lot of the picks come in of Sphinx and the other third-party Mirage. I've sort of been wanting me to look at getting one or two of them.
Yeah. DX9 Invisible.
Invisible, that's the one. Yeah, Yep. He's something I don't have a Mirage in my G1 collection.
No, I've actually been finding, as I've been going through and getting some of the collection box set, you pull those figures out and have a play with them, and they're actually so much better than you remember. Like you said, he's solid, all the joints are, and like he's also got a fairly iconic look to him as well. Like when you actually transform him, it's recognizably Mirage. It's not just like this, this figure that is a bit blocky and his arms don't move or anything. It's like no, that's actually the toy that we remember. It's the character that we remember from the cartoons as well. Like he had a pretty good cartoon rendition and a version of his toy. It was pretty good. And yeah, he's like I said. I'm finding that a lot of these larger G1 toys, the cars, they're actually pretty fun to get out and play with.
Yeah. Yep. The only I think Sunstreak is the main G1 card that I'm missing at the moment. From the bigger line anyway. So, also got these.
Oh, right. Are they catalogs or are they? No, they're comics.
They're comics.
Is that actually a set or is that actually just actual issues?
No, they're all the same. It's by Barber, Griffith, and Perez.
Yeah. So what issue numbers are they?
It's got number 45 written on it, but it seems to be a Scrambled City.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen those covers, so maybe they're actually they're either con exclusive covers or they're just alternates. But yeah, nice.
It's not working. Yeah.
No, it's really not. That's okay.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, the regular covers got what is that? Cup Jetfire on it, which is not helping at all.
It's really not. It's fine. You got some comics.
Yeah, I think I busted a nut on these ones. I brought 4 of them for a price that I'm not willing to disclose because it was probably way too much for them.
So probably not if they're actually incentive covers. Like they're probably actually worth it. So I'm guessing you picked these up at Supernova as well.
Yeah, got them from Melbourne. A bloke come around and visited us. They got the 86 or the 86 movie art on them. So they might be a one-off. They might not be. I'll post a couple up in the group this week and see if I lost out bad or really bad.
Or you can just read them and enjoy them because that's what comics are there to be done with.
Yeah, but I've got 4 of the same comic.
of the same one? Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So are they all different covers?
No, all the same. All the Metroplex. It's like the Metroplex box art on the back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'll get some HD pictures taken of and put them up in the group and see if I.
I can see these becoming donation drive prizes.
I can't give them away. They cost too much.
Oh my god!
That's,
okay.
But that's me for the week. So.
Well, so I've got a few things for this week. Number one, the giant purple bad guy. Wait, I need to switch the camera to myself. Number one, the giant purple guy, Shockwave himself, or Laserwave, or Destron Laserwave. I haven't opened him yet. I haven't had time to open him yet, but I am looking forward to getting him out of his plastic prison and checking out what the big purple meanie can do. A couple of other acquisitions that I ended up with this week, courtesy of the inimitable Jason Discount, who may have been watching last week. I believe he was watching last week because he told me, he messaged me when he put this up for sale on his website, which I'm going to give a quick plug to. Jason is running a garage sale on his website, which he does run the Internet Transformers database, which is like the Internet Movie Database for Transformers. And so if you're interested in what he's got for sale, head on over to garagesale.itfdb.com. And so, because he was actually watching our live stream when we were recording the podcast last week, he saw me pick up and talk about Hasbro's Blur. There is a really, really nice, really shiny Takara Blur. Look at how nice that guy looks.
That is some nice paint.
And now because I have a Blur that's actually out, I kind of am not really inclined to get this guy out of his box for a while now. So
do it.
He's gonna stay there for a while. Along with that, Jason's been kind enough to hold on to a nice shiny Rodimus Prime from the Transformers United line. And look at that guy. He looks awesome. So yeah, very, very, very happy with him. So those guys both arrived this week. So thank you to Jason if you're listening. And I have one other little curiosity this week. Now, we've often talked about our favorite mold, our favorite figures, right? I mean we talk about it every other week. So one of my favorite figures of recent times is the Transformers Prime Wheeljack mold. And this guy is a Transformers Prime Wheeljack mold. He is the deluxe mold, but he's massive because he's an oversized. He is an oversized KO of Transformers Prime Wheeljack, and Maz at Transformers One put this up for sale, and I was just like, yes, I'll have that. Thank you. That will actually top off my collection of paints and repaints of this mold quite nicely. And yeah, he's pretty good. He transforms exactly the same way. He transforms exactly the same way as the original mold.
It's just 3 times bigger.
Yeah, he's sort of Voyager class, sort of Leader class size. So if I pull that apart there and get that out there and down and just very quickly do a really rough, shoddy job of transforming him. Look at that. That is a Transformers Prime Wheeljack right there.
Wow.
And he's massive. So excellent job. Excellent job, Kyongxing Transformers Company, or whatever you call it. I am very happy with your product. Yeah, very nice.
Wow, these third-party companies reissuing the original figures are just doing a bang-up job.
That is such a that is such a weird way of saying it. I don't know what you're playing at. Okay.
Oh, KO's not a dirty word.
Well, so it is if it's so. Yeah, it is, but there are some curiosities that do sort of bear investigating. Now, the interesting thing with this guy is the legs are really, really tight, and you feel like you're going to break him, but nope, he's okay. That's got to sort of stay around there, and there we go. So yeah, there's a very, very quick and dirty transform of Wheeljack. Just shove his fist around there. You know, I'm just not even going to bother with the rest of it. But how awesome does that look? He's a giant deluxe figure.
That is awesome.
And he, even better, he mostly stands up. I'm going to leave him off screen in case he falls over. But yeah, so pretty happy with that for this week. Don't know if I'm going to be getting Ratchet next week, but we'll see. And pretty soon I do have a box of stuff that's going to be coming over from the States. So we'll see how that goes.
I love that direct deluxe Ratchet. Have they made a KO of him? Have they the big one?
The deluxe Ratchet?
Yeah, from Prime. You said you're getting Ratchet.
Masterpiece Ratchet.
Oh, Masterpiece Ratchet.
He's out now.
Oops,
a bunch of us will have him turn up in the next few days. So we'll see how that goes. I think that's it. That's pretty much it for the podcast for the week. What do you think? Are we done?
Yeah, I think that's it. Bit of a slow news week.
It was a slow news week, but I think that's okay. I think we did all right. And the third parties, as usual, picked up the slack, right?
Yep. Yep.
All right, and my cat is making menacing moves towards me at the moment, so I think it's about time we end the podcast before I come under attack. That is it for the show. Thank you for listening. Not sure if there's any big events or anything coming up this week. It's been a big couple of weeks with all the Supernova news, so I think we're okay with a couple of quiet weeks. This has been episode 58 of Off the Shelf, and yeah, thanks for listening. You can find the podcast on iTunes. Head over there, give us a review, and do be sure to listen earlier in the show if you didn't, and listen very carefully for some interesting stuff about how you can get a Masterpiece exhaust for leaving a review for the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much, and goodbye.
Later. Nice.